What is going on, guys? This is Gia, representing Gia's World, and I'm reporting on more depressing, sad news. I'm discussing the Charleston church shooting that took place in Charleston, North Carolina, or South Carolina. Charleston church, and this is also off of CNN.com. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Charleston church shooting suspect Dylan Roof has been taken into custody in Shelby, North Carolina, law enforcement officers say. Roof, who's 21 years old, of Lexington, South Carolina, has been named as the suspect in Wednesday's deadly shooting at the Emmanuel AME Church, Charleston police said Thursday. The gunman allegedly told the victims before the shooting, quote, "You rape our children and you are taking over our country and you have to go," end quote, said Sylvia Johnson, a cousin of the church's slain pastor. She cited survivors of the shooting and was quoted by CNN affiliated WIS. Full story, they got him. The man suspected of killing 9 people Wednesday night at an historic African American church in Charleston, South Carolina, was arrested Thursday morning about 245 miles away in Shelby, North Carolina. Law enforcement authorities said Dylan Roof, 21, of Lexington, South Carolina, was taken into custody without incident about 11:15 a.m. during a traffic stop, Charleston Police Chief Craig Mullen said Thursday morning. He said local police were acting on a BOLO, be on the lookout, notice that included a vehicle description, the license tag, and the suspect's name. Roof was armed with a gun when he was arrested, according to law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation. It's not clear if it's the same firearm used in the shooting. A senior law enforcement source told CNN the suspect's father had recently bought him a .45 caliber gun for his 21st birthday, which was in April, so 2.5 months ago. President Barack Obama mourned the violence and the victims, saying, quote, "Any death of this sort is a tragedy. Any shooting involving multiple victims is a tragedy. There is something particularly heartbreaking about death happening in a place in which we seek solace and we seek peace." The slayings took place inside the historic Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church near the heart of Charleston's tourist district. 6 females and 3 males were killed. I'm gonna say that again. 6 females, say her name, and 3 males were killed. Black lives matter. Black women's lives matter. Black men's lives matter. Black children's lives matter. Black trans lives matter. I'm gonna keep putting emphasis on that because oftentimes with the Black Lives Matter campaign, women are left out of the category. Transgender people are left out of the category. I just had to say that. Including the church's politically active pastor, the Reverend Clementa Pinckney. Sylvia Johnson, a cousin of Pinckney, said she heard about what happened inside the church from survivors, according to CNN affiliate WIS. Johnson said survivors recounted the man coming in the church, asking for Pinckney and sitting next to him during a prayer meeting for an hour. He started shooting and reloaded 5 times, she said. When a man pleaded with him to stop, the shooter replied, quote, "You rape our women and you're taking over our country and you have to go," she said. A law enforcement official says witnesses told authorities the gunman stood up and said he was here to shoot black people. Police were searching for more information about Roof, whose last name is Rhymes Cough, and trying to determine if he had any links to hate groups. Authorities released a mugshot of him from Lexington County Thursday. It was taken after a trespassing arrest in April, which was around his birthday, which is around his father gave him a .45 caliber gun. According to an arrest warrant from a February incident, Roof had an unlabeled pill bottle with a drug believed to be Suboxone, which is used to treat opiate addiction. Roof told police a friend gave him drugs. The status of the case is unclear. In an image tweeted by the Berkeley County, South Carolina government, Roof is wearing a jacket with what appears to be flags of an apartheid-era South Africa and nearby Rhodesia, a former British colony that was ruled by a white minority until it became independent in 1980 and changed its name to Zimbabwe. Okay, 3 people survived the shooting, including a woman who received a chilling message from the shooter. Quote, her life was spared, and she was told, quote, I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to spare you, so you can tell them what happened. Charleston's NAACP president, Dot Scott, told CNN, she said she heard this from the victim's family members. Federal authorities have opened a hate crime investigation into the shooting at the Otis AME Church in the South, the Department of Justice said. Quote, the only reason someone would walk into a church and shoot people that were praying is hate, quote, Charleston Mayor Joe Riley said. There were 13 people inside the church when the shooting happened. The 9 people who were killed and 3 survivors, South Carolina State Senator Larry Grooms, who was briefed by law enforcement, told CNN. 2 of the survivors were not harmed, he said. It was not clear if the man targeted any individual. Quote, we don't know if anybody was targeted other than the church itself, quote, Mullen said. Historic significance. Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church has been a presence in Charleston since 1816, when African American members of Charleston's Methodist Episcopal Church formed their own congregation after a dispute over burial grounds. Known as Mother Emanuel, it's been the headquarters of civil rights activity over decades. The church is almost 200 years old, guys. Next year, this church will be 200 years old. It was burned to the ground at one point, but rebuilt. Throughout the history, it overcame obstacles after obstacles, destroyed by an earthquake, banned by the state. But its church members persevered, making it the largest African American church in terms of seating space in Charleston today. A call for healing. If you want to read the rest of this, you can. I'm going to give my opinion on this, my takeaways, my perspective. This was a blatant hate crime. You have a young man, 21 years old, who already is harboring racist, bigoted perspectives, ideologies, and opinions. He's wearing an apartheid era jacket. He goes in saying how, I'm going to kill black people because you're taking over the country, you're taking over the world, and you're raping our women. This story is so old. It's been used over and over again by racist bigots. That's why the Ku Klux Klan was here, right? Because we got to protect white womanhood, and we got to protect our people and our culture and our country and our world. So we got to kill the niggers, and we got to kill the Jews, and we got to kill the Catholics, and we got to kill anybody that is not white, that doesn't go with our ideology. You got to go. This is the same story that we've heard throughout history. And here it is, 2015, and ain't nothing changed but the year. And then, as usual, the way media is so biased and just downright racist and bigoted, the image of Dylan Roof is very, he's a child. He's a young kid. He has some mental issues. He comes from a troubled past. So he's the victim, even though he's the one who's killed 9 people. He shot up in a church and killed 9 people. But for some reason, they're not calling this domestic terrorist. They're not calling him a terrorist. He has some mental issues. He's the victim. This is the type of shit that we see in the media. But if you're a person that looks like me, a person of color, you're a thug. You're a thug. You're a terrorist. You're a criminal. That's what we are when stuff happens. But when they do it, when white men do it, and in Rachel's case, when white women do it, they get away with it. It's okay. Because they're white. And we live in a white United States of America. We live in a white privileged world, a white supremacist world, where there's nothing wrong with them killing innocent people, committing crimes, lying, cheating, stealing. In fact, that's how this country was created in the first place. And it's sad, it's sad because 9 people lost their lives because of one racist, psychotic, bigoted person. And and every time you turn around, every single day you hearing about it. And what's really sad is this is the week of Juneteenth. Juneteenth celebration in Galveston, Texas, when slaves were finally let free. 3 years after the end of the Civil War, we celebrate Juneteenth because that's when the slaves in Galveston, Texas were finally let free. Juneteenth, right? And then it's almost 200 years since this black, historically African American church has been here, almost 200 years, and y'all go in here and y'all do this. This is the type of mess I'm talking about. And then every time we talk about these in videos, oh, you're always harping about race. Everybody's the same. I'm colorblind. Stop playing the race card. Blah, 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 blah. My message to the people who say that is fuck you. Because it is about race. It is about race. It is about culture, ethnicity. It's about all of these issues that are happening in today's society is based off of social constructions that humans have made up, okay, to divide and conquer, to exploit, manipulate, kill, torture. That's what this is all about. I don't care what you say. These people are dead because they were black. The police are going around here killing who? Okay, really sit down and think about that. All the police brutality that's going on, it just happens. The victims are always what? People of color. So yes, race is real. Skin color matters. Say what you want to say, Rachel, but it matters. Okay? Because I guarantee you, if this would have happened and Rachel was there, I bet you she would have pulled off that blackface then and said, I'm right, don't shoot. I bet you she would have saved her life then. But that's my whole point. You don't get to jump in and out of race, Rachel. There is no transracial. Because people like me and around the world, my brothers and sisters right now in the Dominican Republic that are being pushed out of their country because they're black, from other Dominicans who think that they're lighter, they're white, they have more Spanish and European features, therefore they get to dictate who can stay in the Dominican Republic. But that's a whole nother video. My thoughts, I'm sending love, support, and positive thoughts to the victims of the Charleston shooting. Now you're probably wondering, why aren't you sending prayers? One, I'm agnostic, so I don't do the prayers, I don't do the church, I don't do any of that, but I do send love, I send support, and I send positive thoughts to you and your family and your loved ones and your friends and your community, because nobody deserves that. You know, and I'm probably going to do more videos because I feel like I need to do a video on religion and how, in my opinion, it's crippled the African American community along with other people of color, and I need to do a video on white privilege and what's going on out here, because we are literally being gunned down, murdered, slaughtered, persecuted, abused. We are being denied basic human rights, and people think this is a joke. It's laughter. And I see people, you know, on the social media, you know, making memes. This isn't a joke. This is our life. People are being killed. This ain't Call of Duty. This ain't a video game. This ain't Monopoly. This is real life. This is the black experience for a lot of people that are African American and identify as black. This is our experience. This is what I have to deal with. This is what my other brothers and sisters have to deal with. This ain't no I can switch on, switch off when I feel like it. But anyways, let me know what you think about this. I know this video got long. I honestly apologize, but this hits home for me. So I just want to know, what do you, the viewer, what do you think about this situation in Charleston, North Carolina? What do you think about it? What's going through your mind when you read about it and you see the images? What do you think? That's all I got. Deuces.